Welcome
to Munda Makeover.
We have traveled all over Zambia to find hard-working farmers.
We want to share their success stories.
And where there are challenges, we will bring experts to help them gain the extra knowledge they need.
So they can adapt and make their farms more productive even while the climate changes.
We want to support them to get better yields.
And increase their income.
We will see how farmers from across the country can benefit from our experts' advice.
While also learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experiences as they improve their farms.
On
Munda Makeover!
Hey Katanana,
Yes, Cozy.
what's with the umbrella?
Well, I thought it was going to rain today, but there isn't a cloud in the sky. It really should have been raining by now.
You know, there was a time when all you needed to do was look up in the sky and you'd know exactly what the weather was going to be like.
Precisely, but this time it's so hard to plan. You don't know whether it's going to be hot or cold, sunny or rainy.
So true. And if it's such a challenge for us to plan, imagine how much of a challenge it must be for the farmers.
Yeah, but this week we're going to be visiting a farmer who's meeting this challenge head on.
Oh, let's go.
All right, with or without the umbrella?
You decide.
Umbrella.
This week we're in Mwachikoka, 10 miles in Central Province, visiting Catherine and her husband, Pythias Monga.
Catherine farms maize, rape, and other cash crops on 1.5 hectares of land.
Odi.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
Please sit down.
Okay, thank you. What challenges are you facing on your farm?
When you grow maize, there are some insects there. So when you buy chemicals, some they don't die. As a result, they destroy what? Maize.
Right.
I think we have some experts who can help you with that. What are you preparing here?
We are preparing beans.
But what time will these beans be ready?
Maybe even 4 hours. You have to leave whatever you are doing, you go and look in the pot if there's water or not water, you add water. You add also charcoal, just like that.
That's too much time and too much effort. What if we had an expert who could help you? Your cooking time on beans reducing to maybe 1 hour or less?
We are going to be happy.
So we're going to leave you now and we're going to get that help that you need.
Run, please run. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. When we heard that Munda Makeover team is coming, we were excited. We were expecting.
Why I began farming, I have to feed the family, and then I have also to feed the nation, and even employment, because I have employed somebody, and in turn, I give him money.
Technology has made our lives easier in so many ways. But does this apply when it comes to agriculture? How do farmers access information? To help answer this question for the Mongas, I've called on Sipiwe Haninga from Better World Innovation.
Today I'm going to be introducing a Climate Smart platform. It's a mobile-based app that I would like Mr. and Mrs. Monga to use it for their farming.
How does this app work?
This app is a mobile-based app, so the app name is Harvest Eye. Once you download it from Google Play Store, you put in your details there, and then you're good to go. And it focuses on a number of things. The app provides real-time weather information. So for different farmers in different locations are going to get different weather information. So the weather information on the app is not as the weather information we watch after the news where they're saying low humidity. So the information on the app is particular to a crop. So for example, if you're doing your soybeans, you're about to put your boosters there. We have that information tell you, okay, so we're going to have heavy rains from this day to that day. So you can either wait for the following week to apply your boosters for them to not be washed away. So it's relevant to a farmer kind of weather information.
That sounds very practical.
Indeed.
Mr. and Mrs. Monga are crop farmers.
Right.
Yes, so if they are going to be growing soybeans, When they go to the app, there's advisory support there. They're going to find what kind of soybeans they're going to grow, depending on the weather information in their area.
Right.
So there are drought-resilient variety seeds there. So the seed that she's going to grow here in Central Province is not the same seed that would be very relevant to grow in Eastern Province.
Right.
And then the goodness is that we are linked to agro dealers with the seeds that are on the app. So in case you don't know where to purchase those seeds, we have someone there that is ready to save you.
Right.
Yes, so each farmer would get a good decision making. So when they go to the crop section, that's what is found there. When they go to the poultry section, there's also advisory support.
Right.
To know what type of weather will come. So I was very happy that that information will be on the phone. I always download and see what type of climate, what type of crop is better for that climate.
So far, so good.
Okay. So other than that, the application also has a commodity trade platform. You can buy and sell from the app. You as a farmer grows maize, you grow soybeans, you don't know who's looking for your products. The app is providing a platform for you to sell your products. So all you do is get a photo of your products and then download it on the app, and then the buyers will be flocking to your farm to come and purchase that.
Absolutely
Very
fantastic.
smart.
And then the app is free.
She said it's free.
Oh,
So
it's
you're
free.
paying nothing for using the app. The only
Nothing.
thing, yes.
What language is going to be used on the app?
So for now, the languages that are on the app is only in English. It's a simple English that everyone can easily understand. But in the near future, we want to customize it based on location. So if you're in Chipata, we're going to have languages that are in Chipata, so it doesn't become a barrier to most farmers.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
will be very good.
It's very easy to get the app. Go to Google Play Store on your phone. Look for Harvest Eye and click download. Install it on your phone. Then open it and input your details. We are in.
And you are here, so
Well,
it
you
says,
can see your name. It says welcome, Kathy.
so it says welcome Kathy, gives you the exact date and your location. So you have the crop section, the poultry section, the aquaculture section, the livestock section, and the urban farming section. So if you check down here, we have a wallet. It allows you to purchase on the app using any mobile money and how to go about it. So if you go down further, you find training. So there is financial literacy and group saving,
Wow.
legume farming, and so on. So there's a whole lot of courses that you can take up.
Fantastic.
We are very happy.
Some people call us BBC, born before computers, but we feel we have to change with time. Though we are old, but we are in a new environment. But for sure, we've been helped a lot. Yes, we are retired, but we are somehow refired.
Farming may seem as easy as 1, 2, 3, but what does it really take to have good crop and better yield? Let's find out. Our expert, Sipiwe Haninga from Better World Innovations, is here to talk to us about good agronomical practices. But first, let's see what Kathy is up to. Mrs. Monga,
Yes, how are you? Welcome.
what are you doing in the field?
I'm looking at my maize here. They have been attacked.
Kathy tells us her maize has been attacked by 4 army worms.
Have you done anything so far?
Yes, we sprayed a certain chemical. We sprayed it twice, but nothing has happened. The chemical we used did not work.
Do you think you could help her with some information or directions in how to deal with this issue?
Yeah, definitely, I can.
I'll be very happy.
Okay.
Fantastic. But you know what? It's just too hot out
Yes,
here.
it's too hot.
Can we go find somewhere cool to sit?
Sure.
Now, Spiwe, can you tell us what are good agronomic practices?
Good agronomic practices are a collection of principles that you as a farmer, Mrs. Monga, needs to take up that are going to ensure that you get a good yield. Looking at the climate change and the change of everything that is happening around the globe. Good agronomical practices for you will be described as activities that you do before your farming season, during your farming season, and also after the farming season that are climate sensitive and smart. So scouting is also a good agronomical practice. So like what we found you doing in that field, you were scouting. So this is why you, from time to time, you go and check out what is happening with your crops. So that in case of any attack, you are early alerted and then you take action before the entire field is under attack.
So what can Kathy do about the fall army worms and other pests?
Okay, so for the maize, what can help is also try and interchange the chemicals that you spray, because you know these pests, they become resistant. If you're using the pesticide over and over, it's like they're used to it. And also maybe the land preparation and crop rotation. Maybe you've been growing the same maize on the same piece of land over and over and over. So as a result, the pests of the previous season wait for the next farming season and invade the next crop. They are able to grow and multiply in numbers. So if you do a crop rotation, for example, you plant something that they can't feed on. As a result, they die off. So you solve a problem without any costs. After walking around Mrs. Monga's farm, I was actually impressed with a number of things. I've noticed that she's already done her land preparation. So early land preparation is a good agronomical practice that everyone should take up. And good land preparation will guarantee a healthy and good-looking crop.
To help fight the effects of climate change, practice minimum tillage. Only dig where you are planting the seed. This will help prevent soil erosion when it rains heavily. In case of drought, it will ensure when it rains, the moisture remains where the crop is planted.
And then also mulching is one other good agronomical practices that is smart that you can practice.
To mulch, you can use leaves, grass, or even the remains of last season's harvest.
And the moisture content retention is high. So I've also noticed that you're using drip irrigation. So this is a very good climate smart and modern way of irrigating our crops. We don't waste a lot of water. We only irrigate what should be irrigated. That's a good one, Mrs. Monga. Keep it up. All right.
So you're already on the climate smart journey.
Yes, I'm already there.
Yes, and then I also noticed that her maize field has not only one crop but two. So she's done integrated farming where she's growing the beans and the maize in one field.
This method maximizes on the water used on the farm. And also, the beans add nitrogen to the soil, which the maize feeds on and ensures a better crop.
What other agronomic practices can you do before you actually plant your seed?
As a farmer, it is important to also test your soils. So most farmers neglect the aspect of soil testing. So you need to test the fertility of your soil and also the acidity of your soil based on what crop. You know, different crops require different pH for the soil. So you need to know all that information. It's a good agronomical practices as you are preparing as a farmer.
Our children are happy. We are doing farming, and farming is sustaining us. They don't trouble them to send us money for upkeep.
And then even if they come here, they also enjoy our sweat of farming.
Earlier, we promised Kathy that we would have a solution to the time and money taken up by her food preparation. I've invited Precious Peary from Mex, who has something that is sure to change her kitchen. I've brought you something better than a bouquet of flowers.
This is the electric pressure cooker that we're going to use to cook our beans today. So it has some features that makes it cook faster than your regular stove.
Right.
And we also have the manual on how to use the appliance.
So everything is here?
Yes, yes,
how to
everything is
cook,
there. How to
what
cook,
to
where
cook.
to press.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. Okay, so we can now have our beans. We can now start the cooking. Just the same that you cook on any stove. And then we're going to add some water. So depending on the size of the beans in the pots, we are also going to put just about enough water to be on top of the beans. You have to make sure that the water does not go above the maximum level.
How safe is it?
So the pressure cooker is built in such a way that even though it's connected to power, this material outside does not get hot. So it's one of the safest ways of cooking. In the lid, we have some safety features. So if it sits properly, it's making a sound. Did you hear the sound? Yes. After you close it, we have this valve, and you do this, you have closed it. And the pressure will build in here, nothing will come out not even the smell of the food.
Okay, now I know that the food is cooked because it's by the smell I can tell that.
Oh, yes, yes. So the pressure cooker has a timer. So you can add time. For example, if you know that beans can cook in 1 hour, you can leave it up to 60. It shows it in minutes. The pressure cooker will do the cooking for you. It will just switch off on its own. You can actually be doing any other things in the house and forget about it.
Certain times of the year and in certain areas, people experience a lot of power cuts and load shedding sometimes. In that case, how can you ensure that I'm still able to use my pressure cooker?
The pressure cooker can work with any source of electricity. So you can use a solar system, use a battery, and you can also use an inverter.
Since this one for beans is only 1 hour, you can also cook many foods in fewer hours.
Yes.
You put that one for 1 hour, you put that one for 30 minutes, you put another one. In 2 hours before the electricity is cut off, you are done with your food.
You tend to have more than 1 stove for cooking, right? If your power is cut, you can always use an alternative clean fuel like LPGs.
Since I've seen the advantages of this cooker pot, I don't know, maybe it's expensive or what. I fear that.
So the pressure cooker is quite affordable. It's also affordable in the long run because the amount of electricity that you're going to be using compared to a stove is far much less. You will find that it's actually the cheapest appliance to use for your meals.
So, let's get down to the details. Kathy spends an average of 10 kwacha and 4 hours to prepare a single pot of beans. If she were to prepare a pot of beans once every week for a month, she'd spend 40 kwacha on charcoal alone and 16 hours in time taken. Cooking with the EPC removes her charcoal expense completely and reduces her monthly time to just 4 hours.
It's been over an hour. Pressure cooker has gone off on its own. As you can see, pin is up. So we're going to open the steam valve to allow the steam to come out. And once it's down, we can open. Okay, so
coming close to an hour, the beans is almost cooked. And now for the final ingredients: some tomatoes, onion, salt, and cooking oil. After a few minutes, we should be good for a taste.
I saw that you only put once water. But when you are using charcoal, even 8 times, even 10 times, for the beans to be cooked.
Yes. And that's not good for the environment.
It's not good. So this one is better than charcoal.
I agree.
Okay, so we can now have a taste of our dish.
It's nice. Short time of cooking. I'm eating.
Would you say it's the same taste as the one on the charcoal?
This one is tasty. It's nice. Yes, I would like to use it. Yes,
This pressure cooker is actually yours, and it's remaining here.
Oh, praise God! Hallelujah! No more using charcoal.
No?
I'll be cooking many things. I'll be cooking rice, vegetables, and some more foods because I use a few units.
For our next story, I'll be shedding some light on a subject that many farmers might think is a scam. Interested? Follow me. With climate change at our doorsteps, crop insurance is necessary for farmers. But why are small-scale farmers afraid to have insurance? Mwiza Kamwambi from Better World Innovations will help us see just how important crop insurance is. What kind of risks do you cover?
These are losses on yields, damage on crops, risks where the germination didn't come out well for the plants. With regards to climate change, crop insurance has really become important to the farmers. Weather patterns difficult to understand for farmers. So this is the time where we have a lot of rains and then the crops die. In terms of drought, there is no rainfall, then the crops, they will eventually die.
First of all, I didn't know there is something like insuring for farming. And secondly, as usual, when something is new, people fear to take it up. So to some sort of fear that maybe it's a scam.
When they have the insurance, they are covered. If there's a drought, they are covered.
Okay.
They will be sleeping peacefully in their homes. So insurance is important, and they should know that it is not a scam.
That information is very, very helpful. It's a good information for a farmer to have.
I want to know, have you had a situation where you've had all your crop damaged or lost a particular yield on a field?
Not all, at least in some cases we have lost some, about half of the field has been destroyed by armyworm, 4 armyworms.
So in his case, where he has half the field is destroyed, do you still cover that?
Yes.
Okay.
The farmer is not going to know what pests are going to come and attack his crops. So as an insurance, we cover this.
I want to find out what time should I do my insurance. Is it before planting or any time that the crop is growing?
You pay for these premiums before you plant.
Okay.
Yes. Currently, we are working with smallholder farmers.
Okay.
We have what we are calling area yield insurance.
Area yield index insurance is done on the actual measured yields in a given area. So for example, let's say Mr. Monga and other farmers in his region insure their maize for the next season. The insurance company will visit the area and map it. As the farmers plant their maize, the insurance company will also plant a small portion of maize in some farms and supervise them as an experiment. The performance report card from all these experimental plots will then be used to judge whether the farmers have had a good season and should have good yields, or they have made a loss and should be paid by the insurance company.
So for maize, per hectare is at 10%, is able to cover a premium at 5,500 kwacha.
Okay.
That 10%, for us now, the farmer is not paying the whole amount. We are now selling a subsidized insurance. The initial payment you would have paid is 550 kwacha because that is 10% of 5,500. But now this subsidy, it is reduced by 58%.
Wow.
So we only ask him to pay 201 kwacha for this farming season at 1 hectare.
The charges are reasonable.
They are reasonable.
They are affordable.
Well, the farmer definitely says that.
Suppose the yield is bad such that only half of the yield is
Comes
obtained.
out, yeah.
So how do you pay out?
We go and do a physical check. Then they will advise the farmer, no, out of this yield, your loss is at this percent and you are going to be paid so much.
Okay. So like for example, the way they had a 50% loss, their payment would have been a 50% payout.
Yes, 50% payout.
Okay.
Yes.
Knowledge is a power. When you learn much, then you're going to develop. Without learning, without knowledge, you can't go far. Suppose I'm a good farmer, I've done what I can, and then I get maybe 90% of my yield. I want to refund that money which I paid you for insurance, since you won't pay me for any damage.
The payouts only come when you have a loss.
I think you've opened up a lot for us, especially now that we have climate change and it's affecting the yields of people. This is the time to get yourself some crop insurance.
You have helped us to understand things that we didn't know.
Yes. Then when you come back, you find new things here at the farm, which means that knowledge you are giving us, we used it, and it has yielded success.
Thank you.
So much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. God bless you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Okay.